Hey guys, Kev Bear Cub here for my next edition of TMI Tuesday for September 17th, 2013. It's been an interesting week for me, so I'm going to get right into some questions because I have a few questions from people. So, first question I have is from Bill Yum. How are you, Bubba? He says, I will try to definitely take as many rugby-fitted pics as I can. I'm having a great time with it. Now for the question. Do you feel the bear community has become its own worst enemy with all the different labels? I actually have to say that yes, I definitely think that we've become our own worst enemy. I've had some bad experiences in the bear community, and it's sad because, you know, I feel like that's the one that I most closely belong to. But I feel like the bear community, which originally was started because, you know, big, masculine, hairy, big guys felt like they didn't belong or they didn't really fit in with the kind of the stereotypical skinny, muscular, hairless twinks, if you want to call them, which I don't really like even using that term. But I think that just in society, we focus so much on labels that it's anyway, it's become really difficult. And so the bear community, you know, kind of came about because of the fact that these big guys wanted to, you know, show that there was no really true stereotype to being gay. That, you know, yes, there are some guys that are skinny and effeminate, but there's guys that are skinny and masculine. There's guys that are big and burly and hairy that are effeminate, and some that are very masculine, you know. And I think the bear community was trying to kind of embrace the more masculine stereotype, or I should say the heterosexual stereotype of what a man is, but the fact that that guy just happens to be gay, you know, that it happens to be a guy that's big and burly and hairy and happens to like men. But I think what's happened is even within the bear community now, there's so many subcultures within that culture. For instance, you have muscle bears, you have chubby bears, you have hairy bears, then you get into the otters and the cubs and all these other labels that we place on people. And for somebody like me, I've experienced many times where, you know, I've tried to be a part of a bear community and I'm not hairy enough because, you know, I don't have that hairy of a chest, or I'm too fat, and they want somebody who's husky, not fat or chubby, or, you know what I mean? And it's really disheartening. I don't know if any of you are in New York City, and I apologize in advance if anybody gets offended, but when I lived in New York City between 2001 and 2002, I tried to join the bear group that was in New York City, and I forget what the name of it was at the time because this was, you know, so many years ago. And I remember it was my second week living in New York City. It might have even been my first week living in New York City, and I went to the Dugout is what it was called at the time, and this bear group had a big event there that night. And so I said, what a great time. I'm going to go ahead and meet these bears and meet these guys. And I went there, and they were kind of selling a calendar or something, or doing some kind of fundraising. And I went there, and there was a group of guys kind of like in a circle or whatever. And I kind of went up and I was like, you know, hey guys, I'm new in town, you know, and I just kind of was introducing myself. Hey guys, you know, my name's Kevin. I'm new here. Thought I'd come out and meet some of the people in the group. And I've never had this happen to me before, and literally the people closed their circle tighter and just turned their backs to me and didn't even acknowledge that I had spoken. So I don't know what the reason is. Maybe it was they were having a private conversation, but I really, at that moment, I felt completely worthless. You know, I felt like I was not even fitting in with the big guys, you know, and it really made me uncomfortable. And I never became a part of the bear community in New York City, which really upset me, which really made it sad because it was very difficult for me to meet people then at that point, which thank God, you know, at that point I was still on Bear 411 and some of the other websites. But yeah, so it was kind of it was a hard thing. So yeah, I do think that we've become our own worst enemy. I think that we just need to get rid of labels altogether and just see if we like somebody for who they are. Fuzz Chub, excuse me, Fuzz Chub, you sent me some videos or some pictures of a picture of you in a rugby shirt. Looks good, nice butt. Don't worry, I'm not going to share that online though. But yeah, nice picture. And then you sent a picture in your shorts, and I had to tell you, I showed your picture to Ryan because, you know, of course, Ryan really is into the chubby guys too. And so he thinks that you have a really nice body. Anyway, which is bringing me on to my next question. Then I had a lot of questions from people asking about Ryan. So Peasant of Stormageddon said, last I saw, you guys were like unofficial. When did y'all become boyfriends? Also, did Ryan delete his Tumblr? We officially became boyfriends on August 9th. Is kind of our official date, I guess, that we consider when we officially decided to become a couple. So that was August 9th. Yes, Ryan did delete his Tumblr account. I had an anonymous ask me whatever happened to DarthCubby's Tumblr blog as well. And I'm looking to see, I think there was a couple others that I deleted. Yes. There were a couple other ones. Any Plus Ultra Bears said, hey Kevin, I was shocked and upset to see that Ryan's Tumblr blog has been deactivated. What happened? Is Ryan okay? Normally I would ask him directly, but I'm not sure how to reach him. So yes, for those of you who are interested, Ryan did he deactivated his Tumblr account. I do notice that there is somebody else who snatched up the name DarthCubby. Ryan had over 3,600 followers, probably more than that by the time it was deactivated. But so I'm sure that one of those people are going to try to take advantage of that high number of people that were following him. But yes, he did deactivate it. Nothing happened to him. Nothing is wrong. He just, he's kind of focusing on other things in his life right now between school and, kind of having this new relationship with me and just, he's a really busy guy right now. He has a lot of things going on. And he has a lot of things on his plate, and he just doesn't have the time to devote to Tumblr that he used to. And it kind of was just something that he said, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of just ready to move on to the next thing. And so, so he deleted it. So nothing major. There's no big story or there's no big event that happened. It's just kind of, he's just kind of over it. We talked and he had said, he was considering deleting his Tumblr just because he didn't want to do it anymore. And I said, whatever you want. I support you in anything, obviously. But, so that's it. But you guys are still going to see, because I still have my Tumblr account, you guys are still going to see pictures of us together. We're going to put videos. I told him that he can use my Tumblr if he wants to post a video to say hi to everybody, or, maybe sometime we'll post a video together because, we kind of like doing a lot of things like that together because we're kind of geeky and stupid like that. But, so that's the story on that. Nothing really major or exciting. Fuzz Chubb asked me a question, said, hey Kev, here's my question for the week. If money were no object, where would you like to go on a dream romantic trip with Ryan, and what would it include? Hugs, handsome. That's a great question. It's really funny. If money were no object, I think is the big, excuse me, the big deciding factor here. If money were no object, I think a dream romantic trip for me would be for us to take a world cruise, because then we could kind of go everywhere. But I would only do it if we could have like a balcony room. I love cruises, and Ryan's never been on a cruise, so I really would love to take him. I think that he would absolutely love it because there's just so much food and the boy likes to eat, let me tell you. But I would love it because it would be a great way for us to just spend some quality time together, which has been kind of tough these past few weeks. We did go on our trip to Key West, but again, we didn't spend a lot of time alone because we were with friends of mine. And it seems like all of our weekends have been spent with other people. So it's, you know, it'd be nice for us to have some time just to ourselves. So that would be kind of cool. So round the world cruise. All right, NE Plus Ultra Bears. So I already answered your question. I did get your pictures. Thank you very much. And no, I will not publish them. 818 Cuddle Bear. Hey, baby, how are you? Says, hi, Kev Bear Cub. Hope you had a great weekend. 1. If you could visit any one of the 7 wonders of the world, which would it be and why? 2. What is your favorite season and why? 3. How do you feel about the current state of gay rights? Do you see things getting better or worse? So first, the 7 wonders of the world, that's a hard question because growing up they meant one thing, but now they have like the seven natural wonders of the world, and then there's the 7 man-made wonders of the world. And but anyway, I think of the 7 wonders of the world, probably I think Machu Picchu would be pretty cool. I think that's one of the 7 wonders of the world. It's on one of the lists, I know. I think that I think I probably would like to visit the Galapagos Islands. I don't know if they're considered a natural wonder of the world, but yeah. Grand Canyon. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. Like, I've traveled a lot when I was younger, and so I don't know if it sounds lame to say, but like nothing really impresses me. Like, I mean, I don't mean it like as in I don't find the beauty in things, because I definitely do. It's just I don't know. I think that we've kind of, as a society, lost our connection to the world. I don't think that we should have to be viewing things as a natural wonder to kind of get back to that. I think that we should see natural beauty and wonder in everything. You know, just going outside and seeing the leaves blowing on a tree, I think it can sometimes be even more beautiful than looking at the Grand Canyon. I kind of take the same approach to things. Like, for instance, if any of you guys have seen The Guilt Trip, the movie The Guilt Trip with Seth Rogen and Barbara Streisand, where she goes with him on this trip and they go to the Grand Canyon and they're like standing by the Grand Canyon. It's like, okay, how long are we supposed to stay here? And they're like, I don't know, 10 minutes. That's the way I kind of feel. It's like, okay, so I've seen it and that's great. I don't know. Like, it's nothing really impresses me as far as that goes, because I try to see beauty in everything. And I think like just as an example, looking at one specific leaf, if you're looking at the way the veins are in the leaf and the way the leaf is shaped, and, you know, or you're looking at it blowing in the wind and you're seeing how it's blowing or which way it's facing, or, you know, how the color on the underside is a little different than the color on the top. It's just, I think there's so many things that we can appreciate that, you know, instead of focusing on these big things and these big places that we should go visit, we should just appreciate and see and enjoy what's in our backyard. What's my favorite season and why? I think spring is probably my favorite season, and that's because it's my birthday. I'm a birthday whore. I love my birthday. My birthday should be all about me all the time, every year. I remind my parents when it's my birthday, even though they already know, but like I'll send my mother Facebook messages to say, hey, only 30 shopping days left till my birthday and things like that. And I'm 40 years old and I still do that to my parents. And my mother expects it every year. Like, actually last year I didn't do it until my birthday's in April, and I didn't do it until like at least April 1st. And my mother's like, you know, what's the matter? I can't believe you haven't reminded me about your birthday yet. So yeah, it's just something that I do, and it's something between me and my parents that I do. But I like spring because it's also you kind of get over that seasonal depression kind of that comes with winter, just because even though I live in Florida, in South Florida, it's like Southwest Florida, it's still beautiful and warm out and stuff, but it's still at night gets really chilly sometimes, or really cold, which I do like the cold weather, but it gets sometimes it just gets to be too much, you know what I mean? And it gets to be sad and lonely, and so I like the warm weather, and I like to be able to go outside in shorts and a t-shirt and flip-flops, and I I just like spring because everything's growing again, and it's like almost like feels like a new beginning every year. And I think that maybe it's partially because it's my birthday, because I feel like on my birthday I get to start that year and make it whatever I want it to be, and can completely change maybe how the year was before. So, yeah, I do have to say though, my 40th year is turning out to be really freaking fantastic, and Ryan, you are a major part of that. It also helps that I'm teaching this year too. How do I feel about the current state of gay rights? Do I think things are getting better or worse? I think things are definitely getting better. As somebody growing up in the late 70s and early 80s, I saw what the gay community used to be and where it is now, and it is leaps and bounds ahead of where it used to be. So I see things getting extremely better. I do really hope that very shortly marriage equality is allowed across the United States. I think as far as things getting worse, yes, there are places like in Russia when they did the whole thing, when they're doing the gay propaganda laws and all that stuff. But I think that's few and far between. I don't think that that's the majority, which is why I think it's really important for us to keep pressure on the people who don't find marriage equality necessary. There's no reason that it shouldn't be allowed. There's no reason. Marriage is not a religious entity. It's not a religious institution. It is a political institution. Holy matrimony is the religious institution. Marriage is not religious. Holy matrimony is religious. Holy matrimony is what you're doing under the eyes of God. Marriage is what you're doing to get certain rights and benefits with the government of the country that you live in, or the state, or the county, or whatever it is. That's what marriage is. Marriage is a political institution, and there's no argument that anybody can make. I don't care what it says in the Bible. I don't care what it says anywhere else. What marriage is a political institution. It's something that gives people rights as couples. That's all it is. If you wanted to look at holy matrimony, or getting married in the eyes of God, that is something separate. So I think it's really important for people to separate out what is religious and what is not religious. In the United States, we are supposed to have a separation of church and state. Because of that, whatever you're calling marriage or holy matrimony or civil unions or whatever it is, if you're calling something specific for under the eyes of the church and God, understand that the way marriage is referred to in the political realm is that it's just a partnership between two people, so they have the rights and benefits that come with your government rights and benefits. There is a separation of church and state, so therefore, no church has the right to dictate anything that's going on in government, period. And if you disagree with me, so be it, but you're wrong. That's just the way I feel. Sorry. No, I don't apologize for that, but it is the way I feel. I'm very strong and very passionate about that belief. My last question I have is from Togbear. Jan. Hey, baby. He says, "Hi, Kev Bear Cub. You said that you would like to travel to Spain. I'd like to know what spots next to your door you're visiting to relax. Are there some special places that you go to if you are sad or have to think about things? Places that bring back the sort of energy to you? Hugs, Jan." Jan, I'm going to give you an answer that's going to seem so cliche and so sappy and ridiculous that you all are probably going to be like, whatever. Whenever I am with Ryan, that's when I recharge. Ryan and I have talked about the fact that during the week when we don't get to see each other because we're so busy with school and work, things get tough. Things get hard. You know, life is hard. Life is not easy. And we both have things that happen to us on our daily lives. And so when we are together, we both feel less stress. We feel relaxed. And, you know, kind of during the week, you feel that pressure right in the middle of your chest. That's kind of like that stress that you deal with. Well, when I'm with him, wherever I am, whether it be traveling somewhere or doing something or just laying at home in bed, I feel so comfortable and so relaxed that my weekends with Ryan completely recharge me, and they make me feel better and know that I can deal with the week that's coming ahead, because I am going to see him again the next weekend. You know what I mean? So this weekend was really tough. I was feeling really sick. I've not been feeling great over the past week or two. I've been having some stomach issues and just not really feeling great altogether in my stomach. I just could not. Haven't been eating much. And it's hard to really explain. It's just been some stomach pains that just don't go away, and I've been feeling nauseous or nauseated. I don't know what the correct term is, but anyway. So it's really great. Ryan made me eat some chicken soup, and he took care of me, and he kind of, would rub my shoulders for me because they would feel tight, or, get me some aspirin or some Advil or whatever if I was having a headache, or, he just was very, very good at taking care of me. And, and then he had some things that he would dealt with, and he needed somebody to kind of be by his side. It was the same thing, and it's like, I was there for him. And so I just think that's what happens when I recharge. I recharge when I'm with him. And I don't know if it sounds codependent. I know if it just sounds like, because it's a new love or whatever, but it really is that way. It really is that way. So that's what I have to say. There's not any specific place, but I do have to say there is a specific place. On Saturday, I was staying with Ryan at his place for the weekend, up in Venice, Florida, and we went out to this place. It's a beach. We went out to the beach in Venice, and it was late at night. We had to go to a meeting, and we got done at about 9 o'clock or so, 9 o'clock at night, so it was pitch black outside, and the beach has no lights or anything. And so we walked down to the beach, and I've never in my life taken a walk on the beach at night. And the sky was pretty clear. There weren't many clouds at all, and so there was a ton of stars out, and you heard the waves crashing, and it was really a magical moment. It was phenomenal, and I don't know how to explain, but this weekend, when I was there with him, there was a special connection that was created or enhanced, I would say, between the two of us, because it was just the only way I can explain it. It was an absolute perfect moment, without a doubt, probably one of the most perfect moments of my life, and that recharged me. Standing there with him, holding his hand, looking up at the sky, seeing some of the clouds, the wispy kind of clouds going by the moon, and all of the stars in the sky, and the breeze, and the wind blowing from the ocean, and the waves crashing. It was just, that moment could not have been any more perfect. And I know he felt the same thing, and it was awesome. It was phenomenal. So so that's it. That's something around here that I would say is just the beach. I guess that's it. It's been pretty long. Sorry, 24 minutes of this. So thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys keep the questions coming. I have hit 1,000 followers, so I am working on something for you guys so I can go ahead and get it posted as a thank you for getting 1,000 followers. So keep an eye out for that. It might not happen until this weekend or so, because Ryan's helping me out with it. And then maybe I'll get Ryan to record a little short video just talking to some of you guys about what's going on with him, so you guys know where life is for him as well. All right, so I'll talk to you later. Love you all. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye.